It's no secret that Nintendo hit it out of the park in 2020 despite having minimal large game releases during the year. With the global situation, we immediately saw Animal Crossing New Horizons help stores sell out Switches in games. Later in the year, we saw the likes of Super Mario All-Stars, Paper Mario, some never been done before Pokemon DLCs, and at the end of the year, we got Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. At first glance, a lot of those don't sound like the biggest releases in years past, other than maybe Animal Crossing, but 2021 is truly shaping up to possibly be the best year of the Nintendo Switch since the release in 2017. So today I'm going to talk about what we should be getting from Nintendo in 2021 as it relates to hardware and games. Starting off, we have the Nintendo Switch Pro. It's no doubt that the Nintendo Switch Pro is still circulating across all Nintendo fans' brains. The Nintendo Switch Pro was leaked as far back as late 2019, and it seems that there's still traction to come along with it. With the rumor that in the middle of 2020, Nintendo started to tell developers to start making their new up-and-coming games 4K ready, and I would say that that's the aspect that got me the most convinced that we will get a Nintendo Switch Pro. Now, on the topic of 4K ready games, not only does that help the Nintendo Switch compete with the likes of PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, but also allows new third-party developer games to be brought to the Nintendo Switch with little to no restrictions. With an upgraded CPU and new improved mini OLED screen, it appears that Nintendo is looking to go full force on what their hybrid device can do. Along with that, we could very well see an upgrade to other hardware, such as the docking station, to have a faster charge, and hopefully include the 4K UHD SoC, which should provide better display to resonate with the 4K capability. We might even see a new iteration of the Joy-Cons and Pro Controller since they were a hit since the Nintendo Switch's release. If everything that's rumored about the Nintendo Switch Pro comes to fruition, then that is going to be an absolute game changer for Nintendo, and it should extend the life cycle for the Switch for another 5 to even 6 years. Now, as for games on the Nintendo Switch in 2021, I'm thinking we're going to get Breath of the Wild 2, or whatever the pending title name for the Breath of the Wild sequel will be. I think it's a really safe bet that Breath of the Wild 2 is going to release holiday 2021. And if history does repeat itself and Nintendo continues to be smart, they'll bundle both Breath of the Wild 2 and the Nintendo Switch Pro. Because I believe that Breath of the Wild 2 will help push the Nintendo Switch Pro sales just like the original Breath of the Wild did for the original Nintendo Switch. With that being said, the Legend of Zelda 35th anniversary is coming up fast next month, and I expect to hear more information there. Speaking of the anniversary event, it's rumored that the Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, and Skyward Sword HD will also be coming to the Nintendo Switch as well. As far as them being in a bundle like the Mario 3D All-Stars was in 2020, that's not entirely certain. But if Nintendo wants to make their money's worth, they should definitely bundle them together. I would anticipate these titles to release sometime in the spring or even fall of 2021. Moving right along, Pokemon is looking to have a good 2021. After releasing 2 very successful expansion passes to their mainstream games, Pokemon Sword and Shield, Pokemon's 25th anniversary is also coming up in February of this year, and it's already shaping up to be a good one, especially if you're a fan of the franchise. Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remakes were also leaked earlier this month with a newly made domain website and everything on top of that. Given that the time is about correct for a remake in the Pokemon universe, it would be difficult to not see Pokemon Company release the remakes, considering Diamond and Pearl universe is one of the most popular within the series. With that, it's been rumored for a while now that Pokemon Let's Go Johto has been in the works as well. Despite the backlash that Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee received upon release, they still sold a collective 12.5 million copies and is the 7th best-selling Switch game to date. For Nintendo, I can't imagine that a figure like that is easy to ignore, and I can only anticipate them to capitalize on it. Now, moving on to my next bit of predictions, the Mario franchise is obviously starting off the year strong with Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury in February. Although with the 2 big anniversaries happening in February with Zelda and Pokemon, I can only anticipate that there will be a big Nintendo Direct to cover it all. The Mario franchise will most likely announce its big 3D platformer, which I would anticipate to be Super Mario Odyssey 2, Super Mario Galaxy 3, or a never before seen 3D Mario game. Along with those, I think it's a safe bet to anticipate a new Mario game to release alongside the Switch Pro later on as well, which should hopefully be Mario Kart 9 or Mario Kart Double Dash 2. That might be a bold prediction, but I'm gonna say it anyway. And I think it's also a safe bet that a new side-scroller Mario game will also likely release in holiday 2021 or early 2022. And that is given that Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe and Mario Maker 2 released in early 2019. Moving right along, we have Metroid and Bayonetta. Metroid is poised to finally have a big year. Everyone is having a big anniversary year, including including the Metroid series. It's celebrating its 35th anniversary next to Zelda, and along with that, there has been some leaks that Metroid Prime Trilogy HD will be releasing later this year. I also predict that Metroid Prime 4 is finally going to get a release date this year, having a shaky early development cycle. I think that they finally sorted that out, and we should be expecting a release date, if not a release this year. With this next one, there has also been no official leaks, but it's been teased that the developers, Platinum Games, said that they have a big announcement coming soon. Platinum Games are the developers of Bayonetta 3, so I can only assume that that's what it will be. Whether it's a full trailer or finally a release date, both Metroid and Bayonetta should anticipate good announcements for the two series that many have been looking forward to for quite some time. I think we're also going to be getting a huge year for third-party games. I think it's a safe bet that in 2021 we should be getting a lot more AAA first-party games, as most developers are trying to support the Nintendo Switch just because of how big the user base is and how much money that they'd be missing out if they didn't. Moving on to Nintendo Online, I believe that Nintendo is set to announce that N64 and GameCube games will be a part of online services with the Wii games and also Wii U ports that are happening. First with Star Fox Zero and Nintendo Land, and others will most likely follow. Now with all of these games and announcements in question, we absolutely should be anticipating a huge, juicy direct from Nintendo. With Pokemon, Zelda, Mario, Metroid all anticipating huge releases that will open up Nintendo the opportunity to finally drop the Nintendo Switch Pro in holiday 2021 and sell out of the consoles with absolute ease. With just the titles already discussed, that would definitely keep Nintendo fans not only happy, but especially busy, with 2020 being such a cluster of a disappointment in the video game industry. With the Nintendo Switch Pro announcement most likely happening, we should also see price drops for the base Switch and possibly even the Nintendo Switch Lite. This year is definitely poised to be an insane year, and I hope Nintendo doesn't blunder it. But that's all for my predictions. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Wes, and I will talk to you on the next video.